Everyone talks about 1492, the year Christopher Columbus's first voyage discovered the New World. It's taught like the world suddenly opened, like history started moving. But here's the question no one asks. What was Africa doing at that exact moment? Were Africans lost? Primitive? Waiting in the dark? To be discovered? Or is that the biggest lie you've ever been told? Because while Europe was just stepping into the ocean, Africa had already built something powerful. Not small, not scattered, structured, connected, alive. And by the end of this video, you won't just see 1492 differently. You'll question everything you thought you knew about history. Most people imagine Africa in 1492 as empty, silent, backward. But that image didn't come from history. It came from narratives repeated so many times, they started to feel true. Because while Europe was celebrating exploration, Africa was already filled with empires, trade routes, scholars, and wealth. In West Africa, the Songhai Empire was rising into one of the most powerful empires on earth. Not a tribe, not a village, an empire. Before it, the Mali Empire had already shocked the world with its wealth. Led by Mansa Musa, a man so rich, his journey to Mecca didn't just make headlines, it destabilized entire economies. Think about that. One man from Africa shifting the value of gold across regions. And at the heart of it all was Timbuktu, not a forgotten desert town, but a center of education, filled with scholars, libraries, and debate. While parts of Europe were still recovering from the Middle Ages, Africans were already studying law, astronomy, mathematics, and religion. Let that sink in. Not the version you were told, the real one. Because right now, the story is already breaking apart. On the eastern coast, Africa wasn't isolated. It was plugged into the world. Swahili city-states like Kilwa weren't surviving. They were thriving, trading with India, Persia, even China. Ships crossed the Indian Ocean carrying gold, ivory, spices, and ideas. Cultures mixed. Languages evolved. This wasn't a continent waiting to be found. It was already part of a global system. In Central Africa, the Kingdom of Kongo was building structured leadership, laws, and governance. Further south, Great Zimbabwe had already constructed massive stone cities. No modern machines, no imported engineers, just skill, planning, vision. This wasn't randomness. This wasn't chaos. This was civilization on its own terms. So if Africa was thriving, if it had wealth, knowledge, systems, then what changed? Why does history tell a completely different story? Simple. The ocean. While Africa mastered land-based trade, Europe mastered something else. Naval power. Ships that could travel farther. Weapons that could dominate coastlines. Routes that connected continents in new ways. And that single shift didn't just change trade, it changed power. 1492 wasn't the beginning of greatness. It was the beginning of a new kind of competition. One where control of the seas meant control of the future. And Africa didn't fall behind because it had nothing. That's lazy thinking. It fell behind because the rules changed fast. And not everyone was playing the same game anymore. So next time someone says Africa was behind, don't just accept it. Ask them this. Behind, or simply playing a different game. Because history isn't just about who was powerful. It's about who got to tell the story afterward.